Welcome back to Dan's Details. Today we accomplished and overcame an issue that a lot of people are having with the LS Swapped C10 trucks. The C10 trucks primarily get the AC compressor moved up high and ran off the serpentine belt due to clearance issues with the frame. What I had, the guy that owns the truck, he was pretty adamant on leaving the AC down low and running it off of what I would call the little pony belt, because we're running a blower with the serpentine belt and he didn't want to take the chance of belt slip. So he tasked me with finding a way to make sure we can keep the AC, the factory AC, down low. Did a lot of research, did a lot of reading, a lot of Facebook questioning on some of the pages. Nobody really had a good solution. So I spent the better part of today coming up with what I felt was the best solution with the motor mounts and what we had to work with. So we used the Dirty Dingo Slider Mounts, which I modified, you'll see in the video. Factory AC bracket from a truck and factory AC compressor. It fits without having to cut the frame, notch the frame, and very good fitment as far as keeping that AC down low. I feel like this is a really good solution. It's my solution anyways. It's really, in my brain, the only way I could figure out that it made sense. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope it's informational for you. So what I did is, this is the AC bracket that comes standard on an LS truck. And I modified it, I cut a window in it so that these motor mounts will fit behind here. Then I removed the two slider bolts from up here in this mounting location, drilled them, and reinstalled them back here so that this slider mount is no longer a slider per se. So I've cut that off, as you can see, to give me clearance behind the compressor. What I'm going to do is test fit. Slide it in. It locks down. Then take the compressor, bolt it in, it sits flat against its housing. Okay, so you know it fits correctly. The only drawback is we've lost the functionality of the slider, but I don't need it to slide, so now I have plenty of room right here for the compressor, the bolts, factory low compressor. And what I'll do is, since I have some room left so that that's not an open-ended slot, I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut it down and weld it on the ends of there so that slot is closed in. And that'll add some structural integrity to it. Close-up view, the clearance, and this is just my mock-up motor. So what I did initially, and I thought it might be kind of crazy, but my good buddy Adam was over here and kind of gave me an idea, is the slider mounts and the low compressor is an issue for a lot of people in a LS Swapped C10. So my thought process was, and I'll add some pictures, is let's swap the motor mounts from passenger side to driver side and vice versa to reverse them. When I did, everything fit perfect. The compressor went in, didn't have to window the mounting bracket or anything. Everything fit perfect. This mark right here and this line was back here. So there's a 3-inch difference there. That moved the motor 3 inches forward compared to where it would normally be. I didn't really care for that because if you looked back between here and the firewall, there was a pretty large gap. Now, this engine bay, you can definitely move it forward 3 inches and it's not going to hurt a thing. But just for the looks and everything, that open gap, I did not want to see the top of the bell housing for the transmission in that opening right there. So this was a solution I came up with. Okay, quick recap for today on what we accomplished. The Dirty Dingo Slider Mounts, obviously the passenger bracket. Driver's side, you don't have to modify. It's fine. What we did is I windowed, and I'll grind it smooth and clean it up and paint it. Passenger side, obviously passenger forward. Quick recap, I spun this around and put it on the driver's side and put it backwards initially, but the motor stuck out too far forward in my opinion. So what I did is the original studs were put here. I cut the welds off, grinded them off, and then I drilled and tacked them in here with my welder. Then took the slider, put it in. It's obviously all the way to the, well, this was moving the motor all the way to the front. The only way you're going to be able to accomplish this is by modifying this right here. Like I said, what I'll do is I will go ahead and tack in that end plate so it closes these in for the integrity of it, and then kind of grind it smooth and make it look like it's supposed to be like that. That then allows you to put this behind the compressor, and then the compressor can bolt up flush. Check the clearance on the firewall. We cannot take a chance of scratching this truck. And what I did is I set a jack up on the floor a little bit to kind of help catch me. Jack, cleared that. As you can see, get in here with it. My driver's side one is lined up perfect. The passenger side just shoot off. I think I might lift it up just a hair. You guys are around here. Okay, so now we're on the motor mount. Get my camera up here. On the motor mounts, lined up on the pedestals. All sorts of room for the AC in here. The line that goes in right here, we may have to make a little notch. I think it'll be okay though. It's close. Plenty of room in the back of the motor. The head back there. And we're lined up here as well. My only concern was this drag link, I call it, on the steering, hitting the harmonic balancer. But as you see, the belt for the AC is plenty far out there. We're not going to have any fitment issues with that because the harmonic balancer and the main drive serpentine belt will be out further than that even. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this thing's fitting. Well, I want to round the day out with showing how these fit. This is the slider from Dirty Dingo. Should be plenty of room for the harmonic balancer. I mocked up on this, since I only have one head on this thing, I mocked up the long tubes from Speed Engineering. They're going to fit just fine. The AC down low, mounted with the factory bracket. Plenty of room. The only thing I'm seeing right now is this line is going to be really close, and I kind of penciled in where I may have to do just a small notch. Not sure yet. Lots of room for the headers. I like the placement of the motor like this. I really do. Plenty of room with the firewall. No contact with the... When the motor was slid forward, what happened is this front primary was hitting on the motor mount and it wasn't even close to fitting. And I really didn't want to run a short manifold or a shorty header or anything like that. So, and from the valley to the top of the blower is another 9 inches. So you can see on the motor here that it gets pretty tall from the valley plate up. So I do know for certain now that I have plenty of room in the firewall for that blower.